The second thing I think that defines Queen Elizabeth's reign in the context of this conversation is that notion of the camouflage of mystique, the fact that we knew nothing about her, the fact that she was as much a figurehead as a human being. The occasions upon which you could even guess at her opinion about something can be counted on two fingers. Over 70 years, that's quite incredible. And Charles is not like that. So you've got this combination, the two big transformations coming on are the fact that Charles is wet behind the ears as a monarch, the fact that he's box fresh means that you perhaps are more likely to question the relevance and suitability of him being your head of state if you're Australian. And the second thing is that he's not mystical. He doesn't have the mystique, the camouflage of mystique that the Queen enjoyed deliberately, that the Queen enjoyed and employed. He is much more obviously human than the Queen. And I mean that in a, flaws, warts and all sense, not in a David Icke kind of sense. I'm not questioning her humanity. So you've seen Prince Charles already get angry with his fountain pen. That's already more of an insight into a lack of self-control, a shortage of self-control than you ever saw with the Queen. Can anyone ever remember seeing the Queen cross? Did you ever see the Queen cross? So that combination, the removal of the longevity, the resetting of the monarchical clock goes back to zero as Charles's reign begins, coupled with the fact that he is not a mystical figure. I need a slightly better word than mystical, but he is not a mystical figure. He is a very human man. We know a lot about him. We know more about him than we want to know in the case of some of the scandals that dogged him 20 or 30 years ago, which I'm not going to go into the detail about. But that, for me, makes the historical question of head of state of Commonwealth countries or even membership of the Commonwealth, I think it becomes quite live. I don't think the Commonwealth is going to survive in its current form under King Charles. I don't see how it can, because these questions have been pushed into the background or silenced by respect for the Queen, respect for those two branches of her reign, the longevity of it and the nature of it. And neither of those two things are going to sustain. Prince Charles is clearly not going to have a reign as long as his mother's, and his personal nature is not the same as his mother's. So I think the Commonwealth, for good or for ill, and I suspect it's probably for good, although, as with all changes, sometimes progress can feel like a loss. I don't think the Commonwealth is likely to survive in its current